Hello, it's Jean with Kept in Stitches. Welcome everyone. Let's step on into the stitching cottage. Come on in, get comfortable because it is time for my week in review. Let's see what has been going on in the stitching cottage this past week. And always, you know, there are several things that go on that I share with you each and every week. So let's get right to it. First of all, little disclaimer here, or whatever you want to call it. This may be kind of a short week in review, as midweek, that wonderful day we call Hump Day, Wednesday, while working on that a little clutter behind the long arm that I showed you in a short, my confession time of an area that needed some cleaning and some reorganizing. Well, I was working on that Wednesday and kind of had a misstep, a trip, and a fall, and landed on top of several things on the floor behind the long arm. So wasn't feeling too good, still a little sore, kind of hurt my neck, my back, my left side, and my hip. So have been a little sore, so did not get quite as much done as I had intended to this week. But hey, life happens. We put on a smile and we continue on and make the best of it. So I did get to work on some things, just not as much as I would have normally. But let's see, what do I have to share with you? I have been working on, as you know, the embroidery on this little quilt, and I'm just going to hold up the portion. You've seen it before, so I'm just going to hold up that portion that I have, and let me see that I have that in there. Completed the bunny there that you will see on the embroidery part, and I'm a good way going on that little bird in the other snowball block there. So that is what I have worked on that so far this week. And we will set that off to the side. And then I also have been working on our rose counted cross stitch project, which that is what I have completed on the rose. Got some work done on the needlebook portion of that last week, but this week did not get any additional done on that. And while I have this in my hand, this is also one of the things that came in the mail this week. Decided I'd like to have my scroll frame a little bit more hands-free, just like I do my hand quilting. So I did get this lap stand, which came with the scroll frame also this week, to help be able to sit and enjoy a little bit more hands-free, not having to hold that scroll frame and stitch at the same time. And I am really enjoying that, which when you are working at a table or taking it along someplace, this also works on the table. It doesn't have to be your lap, so you can use it either way. Comes in very handy. And I can share a link for that if you would like in the description box after this video is over. And then the other thing that I have been working on, which I had decided I wanted to make a quilt for myself out of some beautiful, beautiful charm squares that I came across when I was going through my collection of those. And so I was able to get that little quilt put together. I'm looking for which is the right side up on it. I can't find my pen, so it really doesn't matter because it's square, so it is the same. And let me back up so we can get as much of this quilt in as possible in one view. But that is from, you will maybe recognize it, some of you, from one of the patterns that I used during my charity quilt marathon. And it is called Charming Lucy is the pattern. But I am going to call this one charmingly romantic, because I just think those fabrics read very romantic to me. They are soft and beautiful floral fabrics. Those are the charm squares that make up the 4 sections of each one of those blocks, and then the background fabric is just one that I had in my stash, and I decided I'd like it just a little bit larger, so I found a soft yellow to be able to add another border all the way around that, making it just a little bit larger. And I do believe that I have decided that I am going to hand quilt this one also. Just looking at it and trying to decide the quilt pattern that I would like on it, and I've decided that I think some hand quilting would set that off the best. So that is, for the moment, what I have decided to do with that. And I also have the binding, like I always do, have everything ready for my quilt. That is ready to go. And in case you are wondering what I have this binding wrapped around, if any of you ever purchase the 1 yard cuts, I think they might have the 2 yard cuts too, of any of the Waverly fabrics at Walmart, this is the little thick cardboard card that it comes on wrapped around, and I save those because they come in perfect for storing your binding on for your quilts. You can even put a safety pin through there and attach it right to your quilt so you don't lose it, and you have it handy when it comes time. And it's there, not lost, right with your quilt as you store it, waiting to quilt it. And then I also was deciding on the block for the block of the month for 2024, which is done in my Facebook group, Captain Stitches and Friends, and also show a lot of that on YouTube during my lives, working on it, that type of thing. And this is where I will mention, a little bit about the membership to my channel. And one of the perks that I include in that, which all of the perks are not listed in the description of that membership. I only have 1 level, so I kind of have the freedom to add whatever I want to do in with that group, other than the things that are listed as being perks for that. And one of that is I do design blocks or projects just for those that are member of the channel, which is called, my membership is called Stitching Friends. And sometimes I also do early releases of things that are being done for the group or on my channel just for those members. And so this month I did an early release on April's block of the month, because I did design a bonus block for that this time, to where the blocks are always a 12-inch finished. And when I chose the block for this coming month, April, it is Grandmother's Puzzle. I will be releasing that to the rest of you this week, so be looking for that in the files on the Facebook group. And this is a Grandmother's Puzzle. And I was looking at that and I thought, that is very interesting. I wonder what could happen if we put more than one of those blocks together. And this is a 6-inch version of the block, because the one for the block of the month would be a 12-inch. But if you take 4 of these and you turn them, you end up with this beautiful block or quilt if you were making it out of, larger blocks. But by making it a 6-inch block, this will be a 12-inch finished block, and it makes that beautiful secondary, actually 3 patterns in it, because it makes the secondary star, and you end up with a churn dash block variation in the center there. Beautiful block, which I named that Grandmother's Blooming Star. And this was released to the Stitching Friends early, so they got to preview that as a bonus of being a member of my YouTube channel. So that is one of the perks that are also in that. the other things is, and that was released to them in the chat group that is just for the stitching friends. And we also do a weekly Zoom stitch day, stitch party, whatever you want to call it, and also pop-up ones from time to time. Those are some of the perks of being a member of my channel. And you can join the channel just by clicking that join button, finding out more information about that. Just wanted to include that in there since there are a few little things that I will show from time to time that have something to do with that. And because I was in the mood for some designing, which I do love designing, I have been wanting to start one of the new things that I will be doing for the charity, and that is the Veteran Expectant Mothers Baby Quilt Charity. And I was trying to think of a pattern that I wanted to do, so of course I opened up EQ8, started playing around, and the inspiration for what I came up with is from the quilt that I did for my husband's retirement quilt, which was just a simple 9-patch and a snowball block. Well, I've just done that, so I didn't want to do that again, and I decided hourglass block would look cute with that. So I have designed a little quilt that I'm calling My Americana Baby Veteran Charity 2024. And I'm not going to show that right now because I will be releasing that at a later date. But wanted to mention that it will be coming up. And I also designed it in a larger version so it can be used for any veteran that you would like to do that for. And that will be shared very soon. But these are the beautiful fabrics, and you can see right up there in that shelf, those are all Americana red, white, and blue prints that I use for veterans quilts, and I have some in addition to that also. But these are what I pulled for that quilt. Those are my stickers. I always have everything labeled so I know the yardage when I pull it out. That way I know without getting it out whether it's going to be enough for the pattern that I am planning on using or not. But these two reds and this one, let me check, yes, are going to be used in the 9-patch, and these two blocks are going to be used in the hourglass block. So that is going to be a beautiful quilt when that is finished, and I hope and plan to start working on that quilt this week, get it cut out and get started on it. So that is what has been going on in the Stitching Cottage this past week. Not a lot of things to show that, have actually done a lot of work on, because I kind of had, one down day, what a word to use for falling, right? A down day. A day and a half of really not doing much of anything. And I apologize that it did happen on the day of that hand quilting series, teaching step-by-step hand quilting with Danielle of Danielle Stitchery. But that will continue on, and it is scheduled for this Wednesday night at 7 o'clock as planned. So be there for that, those of you that have been following along on that new series. And now I just forgot what I was talking about, but yeah. So, and the other thing that, of course, I always show what was received in the mail. And I had forgotten actually that I had ordered these, but these are a grab bag of fat quarters from Cotton Cuts, and they were a good price. I thought I would give them a try, see what we get, and I ordered 2 of them, and I think without taking them out, you can get a pretty good idea of what those fabrics, maybe if we turn it this way, you can actually see some of those a little better. But they do a pretty good job of kind of coordinating some of them. These are a little bit different, but we've got owls there. If we turn that way, you can see them. And a beautiful floral there, a kind of more of a mixture in this one, but a great way to build a stash of fat quarters to have for some of those smaller scrappy quilts that we all love to do. So that is what came in the mail, and that is what has been happening in the Stitching Cottage this week. I hope that you have gotten more done in your sewing area, quilting area, crafting area, whatever it may be, than I was able to accomplish this week. But if not, I hope I have inspired you that even through adversity, you can carry on and you can get something done. Because when it comes to stitching, there's always something that you can be doing and enjoying. And I hope that I have inspired you and that you may discover a new form of stitching that you haven't tried before. So have a great rest of the end of the weekend, everyone, and I hope to see you tomorrow morning for Stitch Talk with Captain Stitches, where I will be sitting in that chair right behind me in my hand stitching corner, working on some form of handwork and chatting with those of you that join me, sharing a few tips, having a great time, sharing a cup of coffee or whatever it is that you drink during that time. Hope to see you then, everyone. Take care, and remember, in the meantime, I can keep you in stitches. Bye-bye, everyone.